My people, wahala don tie wrapper o. E be like say no be Gbadebo no become governor of Lagos State, no become governor of Lagos State. E be like say the matter don pass social media level. This one don turn to hand o, my people. As I dey talk to una so, Gbadebo don cry go national TV o, my people. Say wetin remain for am again o, say this one no be only threat of social media again o. This one na real life, my people. My people, wahala don tie wrapper o, everywhere don scatter o. Gbadebo parents need to do wetin, need to strong their leg for ground. If my people go like make una go hear from Gbadebo, make una see wetin happen to Gbadebo. Wey Gbadebo take cry come national TV say this one no be only social media o. They don carry the matter comot for social media o. They don go organize people wey be say the day after in own life o.
INEC has refused to give Peter Obi access to the beavers as well. I'd love for you to touch on that. But more importantly, do you feel threatened? I want you to paint a graphic picture to our audience on what exactly happened in Ekpe yesterday.
So as our convoy was moving out, a lot of young men came out and tried to block the road, right? And obviously we cannot go in because we had quite a lot of force with us in terms of police. The police were with us. And it was very important that we did not show any force, because what will then happen is, as they are trying to propagandize Gbadebo to Tinubu, they now say, I came in there and I'm trying to take over Ekpe and I'm using guns and all of that. So we had the police go in there and talk and try to allay everything, and DSS was also very helpful in that situation to neutralize the situation. But they did shoot at us, right? And they did try to intimidate us.
Were you on the bus and they were shooting at you, or were you below?
So the great thing that we had was that the DSS knew, they could see it coming. They went ahead, they took me down from the top of the bus and brought me back down. And they said, there's a threat in front, we're going to neutralize the threat. And then as we're going there, we had gunshots in the air.
So do you feel safe in Lagos now? Because I know that you have also said that when your administration comes into power, you're going to end thuggery. I don't know how that would happen.
Because we're going to try. I mean, look at that young man that was talking, even when the APC cap.
In the
what
video
did he ask for? Yes, he asked for jobs. And I keep saying these things. A lot of these guys, they're behaving like this because they feel that their lifeline will be taken away from them. And that lifeline is a situation of just taking. Not necessarily working or being productive, but the state government has backed you up so you can just take and seize. Almost like the strong arm of a mafia's sort of structure. What we are saying is, we're going to give you the skills to work, and we're going to create work for you, right? And if you are ready to work, you have jobs. But if you want to continue doing this whole monkey to walk, baboon the chop situation, there's no place for you in Lagos State. And I say that on my chest. I've said this for a long time. Lagos State must become productive. 8 out of 10 containers that come to Lagos leave empty. With our population increasing the way it is increasing, we must have a productive population. If not, it's just going to be, we're sitting on a keg of gunpowder, especially in terms of security. And Lagos State needs to be secure if we're going to grow the way we're supposed to grow, attract tourists, attract investors to come in here and become a 24-hour city. Lagos State needs to be safe.
Okay.
Steve, sorry, before you go ahead, I'd love for that, for you to analyze your party's call for a nationwide peaceful protest if the results are not given to your presidential candidate. When do you guys plan on organizing
as long as PO and the leadership, our national chairman, gives the instruction, then we will do that, right? And politics is a continuum. Governance even is a continuum. And we must show our strength. And these people must understand that they cannot afford to set this country on fire. Leaders have that responsibility to ensure that there is peace and ensure that their followers' passions are not lit. So an election is a way for people to express themselves and push for what they want the country, how they want the country to move forward. If you take that away from them in a very illegal way that makes them feel cheated, you can potentially set the country on fire. And this was not a minority candidate. This was a candidate that had popularity all across the country, right? And not based on a tribe. I keep saying this. They're trying to color it as a tribal thing. Lagos, Labour Party won in Alimosho, which is predominantly Yoruba. Labour Party won in Koshofe and Shomolu, which are predominantly Ijebus and Yoruba. Labour Party won in Ikeja, the capital of Lagos State, which is predominantly Yoruba. So there are a lot of people that feel slighted and cheated by the way this process has gone. And I respect His Excellency Peter Obi for calming the nerves of people, for giving them hope that he believes in judiciary and the right thing is going to be done. So the INEC, the judiciary must go through the process in a transparent way and give a perception of transparency and honesty, so that people can actually move on and focus on, this whole process, this judicial process.
I think the proposed peaceful protest is actually to call INEC's attention to the fact that it's not honoring the court order, not to protest that Peter Obi didn't win.
No, that's what I said. That's exactly what I said. It's for, but the question really also was, when exactly would you know? And is it true, the story that we are hearing, that INEC has gone ahead to reconfigure the beavers without giving the documents, the results to your candidate, your presidential candidate?
Honestly, I've heard a lot of things, and I will not doubt that, because honestly, the day of election, INEC acted as an arm of the APC. I'm not mincing my words. We saw how they acted, even from the polling unit agents that were lying that they did not have the codes to be able to log into BVAS, right? And then when pressure was put on them, they brought out the codes, right? To World Coalition officers that were tipexing results in Apapa, to World Coalition, to INEC officials that will just bring up a reason not to announce a winner in Ojo, or not to announce a winner in Oshodi Solo 2 or Surulere 2, right? So that needs to change. And the reason why they could get away with all of that is because we believed that our electoral process had been deepened. There'll be electronic transmission of results. We have seen INEC's antecedents in the previous states. So we came in there with trust. But that trust is broken now. So I advise INEC to do the right thing. We don't want to set this country on fire. We don't want to set Lagos on fire. You have the mandate of a huge amount of people that want to see change. Let their voice prevail.
Okay, you claim that Labour scored more than 900, had more than 900,000 votes in Lagos. That's your claim. I'm sure that will be part of what you guys are taking to court. But then, from what INEC declared, Labour Party won in Lagos State.
With the 10,000
With the 10,000. Whether it's the 10,000 or the additional 400,000 that you believe that you won, what people are saying is that that vote, or those votes, were essentially for Mr. Peter Obi, and that they may not necessarily translate to your own votes on Saturday. How are you keen into making sure that those who wanted Obi, particularly the obedience, will also be your supporters and voters on Saturday?
Well, first of all, His Excellency Peter Obi is a brand builder. What you see with Peter Obi today is trust. People trust him. People trust that when he says something, he's going to do it. That's why Peter Obi, you didn't see him with any big billboards across Lagos State. I mean, most of the campaign jingles on radio were done by other people for him. I don't think he had any big campaign videos on TV. I don't, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right.
But then you see other parties that spend billions on campaign billboards and all of that, they lost abysmally, right? So it's about brand building, and he has built a brand. And that brand that he has built is transferable. When he says, I'm supporting this person, the people that believe in that brand will also believe in the brand that he's supporting. And he has said that. He's endorsed me on several platforms, on several instances, and he's coming to Lagos to campaign with us. So I have no doubt that, and also I believe that the search strategy has worked very well, because there's a time now that we need to ginger and we need to get the morale of the obedience up, and I'm doing that all across Lagos State. So I have no doubt that they're going to come out, and we're going to come out even more, because now we understand what we're dealing with INEC, because there's so many people that were disenfranchised from voting on that day. So many people that were moved to polling units and the agents never came, right? So many people that were pushed away and in front of a Lagos Palace, in front of a News Palace, right? That's not going to happen again. Understand? It's not going to happen again. So even the numbers you're going to see in this election are going to be more, because we're coming there structured, ready to resist any form of intimidation or harassment.
Do you think that the Igbo vote in Lagos will be the tiebreaker?
You see, Alimosho, we won with over 100,000 plus votes, right? They took about 50,000 votes out of our votes there. That's a majority Yoruba place. So it's about, Lagos State is a microcosm of Nigeria. And it's about all of them coming out because we need a huge margin. We need a landslide victory, right? So it's not, you see, this coloration, no, because when you talk about Amodofin, Oshodi Solo, Jeremy Feludun, that's pretty much it. They now start talking about Alimosho, Koshofe, Shomolu, Ikeja. These are predominantly Yoruba places. These are places that the PDP never won in almost 2 decades. That's huge. So you have a lot of Yoruba, and that's why it's so painful to see how people that are not even from Lagos are trying to question my pedigree in Lagos that goes back over 400 years, trying to make this a, you have voting for an Igbo governor, right?
Would that be because you are half Igbo? Is it even correct to say that you are half Igbo? Your mom is Igbo.
Yeah,
your
my
wife is
Igbo. My wife is Igbo.
Okay.
Tinubu's wife is from Ishekiri. Yeah.
You're Chinedu,
My
right?
grandmother gave me the name Chinedu,
okay,
which means God guides me, right? My other grandmother on my paternal side gave me Patrick, right? And my grandfather gave me Gbadebo, right? So I don't understand. You see, anyway, a governor that dodged debates 5 times has clearly decided that this conversation is not going to be issue-based. So they're going to muddy the waters and bring in whatever it is. But I tell people, see this Yoruba that people want to carry on, it should be not just lip service. When herdsmen were coming and killing people in Southwest, what was Sanwo-Olu and Tinubu saying? When Rotimi Akeredolu, a fellow governor, stood up for his people. When people like Sunday Igboho stood up for his people. When people like Padebanjo stood up for his people, what were they saying? When Tinubu went to go and pay condolence visit to Fasuronti and he asked, where are the cows? Was that very Yoruba? Was that in the interest of Yoruba? And then you now find that it's only when it's time to play politics that they start to remind you, but what have they done for the Yoruba people? Markets burn down in Lagos State, Tinubu is quiet. Markets burn in Kano, Tinubu goes there and gives them money. Right? So all our young men that are on the streets, that are on drugs, have they gone to go and meet the, oh yeah, Yoruba, you're my sons, come, let's get you off the street, let's rehabilitate you.
Do you speak Igbo?
I was going to ask that. That was what exactly I was going to ask. No, but before you even, I mean, there has been that robust response from even the Yoruba social cultural group, Afenife, saying that you are a true Lagosian and like you have said, your family.
My people, now the video now on a new watch finish so. On a see what happen for inside the video. All right, my people. I would like to end the video for you. Make una let me know waiting on a thing for the comment section. And if una never subscribe, make una subscribe so that una not go miss any latest gist way I dey upload. Now bye bye till I come on away next time. Bye guys, catch you in the next video. Bye guys.